friends, and welcome to this 11th edition of the KMA StartCon discussion sessions. Let us begin the session with a minute silence to pray to Almighty for all of us and for the whole world to stay safe and healthy in these challenging times. Continue to be seated wherever you are and close your eyes for a minute. Thank you and good evening once again to our young guests of the evening, Mr. Salih, co-founder and CEO of AppMaker, and Mr. Najib bin Hanif. I guess he has already joined.
He's here, mother.
Yeah. Founder and CEO of Sara Biotech, past president and program committee chair, Mr. S.R. Nair, senior past presidents, Mr. A.K. Nair, Mr. Jose Philip, senior vice president, Ms. Nirmala Lilly, Vice President Mr. A. Balakrishnan, Joint Secretary Mr. Aljaz Khalid, other managing committee members, past president whom I cannot see on the screen, members of KMA and other LMAs, a lot of young students who are present here and invited guests. We have two startup entrepreneurs today who are making their mark in two distinctly different domain spaces. And good to see that we have a fairly good attendance already today. And I'm sure this will swell even further as we progress. Today's program, as you may know, is a continuation of the new initiative conceived and taken forward this year under the leadership of our program committee chair and former president, Mr. S.R. Nair, a startup conversation series called the KMA StartCon Session Series. In fact, one of the many new initiatives that we kickstarted in this KMA year to keep our activities relevant and useful to members and keep our members engaged, remain positive, and provide with meaningful deliberations and events of utility during these times of disruptions and uncertainties due to the pandemic and of course the related turmoil. StartCon Sessions, I'm sure, is one among such new initiatives that played a vital role in bringing IMA's Best LMA Award and the Most Improved LMA Award of the year 2021 to KMA. Here we introduce and present those new entrepreneurs who have ventured out to follow their passion and conviction and trying to make it big with their innovative ideas and concepts. It is important to hear their successes and more importantly the tough path and the setbacks that they faced in their journeys and how they reached this current position of recognition, thereby securing an invitation to this KMA platform to address all of us now. Thus, StartCon series is a platform for these emerging businesses to showcase themselves and share their success stories with the delegates and members, at the same time get noticed by a wide range of accelerators and connects for their chances to scale up. The first of this series saw Mr. Sujit Bhaskaran of Gigs Board India and Ms. Fauzi Nizam of Cutie Pie Cakes. And the next one was with Mr. Joy Sebastian, who founded the online conferencing solution, the award-winning one, vConsole, and Mr. George Sakriya, who founded X-Travel Money. The third month, we saw Mr. John Matthew, co-founder and CEO of Reafi Technologies Private Limited, and Mr. Gis George, co-founder and chairman of Transite Systems Private Limited. And the fourth event of the StartCon series, we've had two outstanding women entrepreneurs, in Ms. Sonia Mohandas, co-founder and CEO of Wafer Chip Techno Solutions Private Limited, and Ms. Ganga Raj, co-founder and director of I Love 9 Months with us. And the fifth in the series, we had Mr. John T. Mathai, co-founder and CEO of the award-winning startup iRove Technologies, and Vignesh Casey, co-founder and director of Vasishta Research Private Limited, Trivandrum. And in June, we had the sixth StartCon session of the series with Ms. Devika Chandrasekharan and Mr. Devan Chandrasekharan, the siblings, co-founders of Fuselage Innovations Private Limited, coming under the spotlight. In August, we had the seventh in the series by two entrepreneurs who came up with innovative devices to combat the COVID-19 pandemic itself. Mr. Binu Augustine, co-founder of Heka Medicals India Private Limited, who developed a high-flow nasal cannula oxygen therapy device used for COVID treatment. And Mr. Sujit Surendran, co-founder 8V Digital Transformation Private Limited, who had developed a UV light-based disinfection device for eliminating the now commonly found hospital-acquired infection. In the 8th edition, we had Jyotis KS, co-founder Sabi Hire, and Alvin George, founder VST Mobility Solutions. And the 9th KMA StartCon session, we had Mr. Abhi Krishna, co-founder and CEO of CareStack Enterprise Dental Software, and Mr. Ravindra Nath Kamath, co-founder and CFO of Next Education India Private Limited. And most recently, in the last month, we had the 10th of this series with Dr. Beena PS, founder and CEO of Omixgen Life Sciences Private Limited, and Mr. Sanjay Chako, co-founder and director, BCB Technologies Private Limited. So 20 of them so far in this year, and today we have the 11th in the series in a row. Friends, Kerala has been witnessing a wave of such innovative entrepreneurial efforts from multiple sectors. Startups in Kerala are stretching their limits as they focus more onto future technologies and finding solutions for problems in ways not experimented before. Success stories are written in sectors other than software and IT also, like the ones we are hearing today as well. The entrepreneurial wave witnessed in the state need to be showcased as it can provide valuable insights to the stakeholders of the ecosystem. As part of the KMA's annual theme of spearheading responsible management, we feel it is our responsibility, the KMA's duty, to offer our treasure troves of expertise and professional experience possessed especially by our esteemed senior members to help nurture and mentor these startup entrepreneurs so that they are guided and helped to break out into the larger canvas of things and get the vision as well as the wherewithal to dream even big and achieve such ambitious goals to get into the bigger league. StartCon is one such exercise, but we have even more plans to help the startups by having a KMA Startup Forum being formed. This is an exclusive platform being created by KMA to get the startup entrepreneurs together, and as I mentioned earlier, to make them interact, have meaningful deliberations and learnings, and also have the opportunity to meet up and network with corporate chieftains, vendors, investors, and even funding institutions. A committee led by our Vice President, Mr. A. Balakrishnan, who is also the Executive Director at Geojit Financials, and ably guided by our Program Committee Chair and former President and renowned corporate mentor for many startups, Mr. S.R. Nair, is working on the finer details of this forum, and we'll inform more about this in the coming days. An invitation is open to all startup ventures, be it a private limited company, LLP, partnership firms, but registered with the Union Ministry of Commerce and Industry and Kerala Startup Mission as a startup entity within 5 years of its registration as a startup for a period of 3 years can be registered in this startup forum. A very nominal fee, annual subscription of 2,000 rupees is what we have proposed. So the KMA Startup Forum in short is to promote startup firms by providing mentoring, accelerating workshops, creating collaborative forums, and provide opportunity to demonstrate products, services, innovation, etc. to the right people whom they need for their growth. But now it's time to turn the spotlights on to these youngsters and know more about their ways and creative innovations and how they reached this KMA stage to talk to us. We are indeed so glad to have you with us, Mr. Salih, co-founder and CEO AppMaker, and Mr. Najib bin Hanif, founder and CEO of Zara Biotech, to share your story of evolution. On behalf of the managing committee and all present here, may I extend a hearty welcome to both of you, Salih and Najib, to this 11th StartCon session of KMA. A warm welcome to all the past presidents present here, members of the Managing Committee and Executive Committee, Senior Vice President, Vice President, Joint Secretary, members of KMA and other LMAs, and of course student members and members of the media and all invited guests to this startup conversation which is about to begin. Now, to start the session, let me invite our Program Committee Chair and former President, Mr. S.R. Nair, to formally introduce the guests and engage them in a conversation, as well as moderate the question and answer session after the talk. For those of you who still do not know SR well, he is a senior past president of KMA and is a renowned corporate mentor, business coach, author, blogger, and thinker who turned his focus into academia after a successful stint as an IT entrepreneur for many years. Thank you so much for the patient listening, and over to you, SR, to take over the proceedings now.
Thank you, President Madhav, Chairman of the session, and President of KMA, Mr. Madhav Chindan, distinguished members who are listening to this meeting, students, KMA members, invitees, and ladies and gentlemen. I would first introduce these two gentlemen, and then engage them. While this is being done, in case you have questions, you can put them in the chat mode. I can pick it up from there and identify you and then answer. All the while, most of the it is requested that you may be kept mute so that we don't have any unwanted sounds coming in, because it is an online session. Otherwise, the concentration will get lost. Let me start by introducing Mr. Salih, co-founder and chief executive officer of AppMaker. Two engineering students from Malappuram districts in Kerala started AppMaker, an app builder, application builder, which lets create quality native iOS and Android apps. Has since then acquired clients from more than 35 countries. Mr. Salli, a BTech in computer science from Calicut University, is a co-founder and CEO of the AppMaker. It is based at High Tech Park at Kalamazoo. AppMaker, not to be confused with the Google AppMaker, built as an internal tool, was aimed at making it into a software like Shopify, the world's largest e-commerce software provider for mobile commerce purposes. AppMaker allows to create native apps for Android and iOS and Windows Phone in seconds. AppMaker works as an app manager as well as an app builder. It helps manage native apps and can also be integrated into any of the existing apps. I will discuss more with him so that you will know how it works and how this is benefiting electronic commerce, particularly as a m-commerce or a mobile commerce platform. Let me go to introduce Mr. Najib bin Hanif. Najib bin Hanif, it's a very specific Arabic name, Najib bin Hanif. This is what we see when you go to Middle East. We see lots of roads and people, etc. We see the name like this. Mr. Najib bin Hanif is a founder and CEO of Zara Biotech. Started up while he was studying for his final year BTech at Sahardaya College of Engineering at Trichy. Zara Biotech is researching in collaboration with Indian Council for Agricultural Research (ICAR) at CIFT, Cochin, Central Institute of Fisheries Technology, Cochin. The products include algae seaweed-based superfoods as blight, spirulina cookies, and seaweed cookies. These cookies are rich in calcium, fiber, protein, and iron, and form a healthy, nutritious diet made available for people of all ages. Zara Biotech has backed an investment of $10 million from UAE-based TCN International Commerce LLC for its project entitled Algae Seaweed Technology under the brand Blight Cookies. Other future products from Zara they are currently working on include collagen-based peptide cookies targeted at arthritis patients. When we say about collagen, suddenly I looked at AK Nair because Kerala Chemicals and Proteins earlier called, now it is called Nita Gelatin. They have this collagen. They have been also commercially manufacturing this actually. Okay. Now let me start talking to Salim. Najib, I'll come to you after this. Okay. Salih, how are you keeping? You're okay? He has had a small challenge because of food poisoning day before yesterday. So you're okay now?
Yeah, I'm feeling really better
very
now.
good. That is so nice. That is so nice. Yeah, Salih. So what was the motivation behind you while you were a student? I'm sure lots of your friends and colleagues must be doing projects or must be looking at opportunities. But how did you come to m-commerce platform or an app maker, and what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah. So it was a completely accidental thing that happened to, I would say in my life. So what happened was I was doing a lot of freelance works when I was studying like in 12th standard. Right? And that was why I just building mobile websites and all.
Oh.
And that was like, doing for a fun projects and all. Then, I started picking up some freelance work.
Okay.
And some people started asking me like, so can you build this? Can you build that? Things like that. And surprisingly, majority of the people are asking for the same use case, but with different, colors, different logos and all, right? So that was time I met my co-founder Ani. So we were doing a lot of, freelance stuff, building a lot of fancy websites and all at that time.
Yeah.
And we were getting this a lot of custom requirement where people wanted to build an app, right?
Mhm.
The functionality is the same. For example, it's like an e-commerce app. It could be a news website, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing it changed was the colors, the logo, the content. Those things are changing, right? So that was the initial moment we thought about. So first we, build this mobile app for our customers by yourself. Later upon, we realized that there is a really good opportunity where if we provide them a platform where they can build everything by themselves, we don't really have to, spend a lot of time on that. It would be much easier for them to create it, update it, and making it live and all, right? So there was an initial moment we thought, we build this thing in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, see, if you really look at the e-commerce scenario today, there are big players like Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Volution, etc. There are many platforms. Also, there are platforms in open software architecture, right? So the
Yes.
competition is very thick. So how do you survive in the big onslaught of e-commerce competition, particularly when e-commerce is really doing well across the nations?
Yeah. So right now we are not, competing with them,
Yeah.
right? So right now what we are doing is that we are providing an ad hoc or say another channel to them,
Yeah.
right? But one of the biggest, in the future, we'll definitely become a competitor of WooCommerce, Shopify, Magento, all of the platforms, right?
Yeah.
One of the greatest opportunity that we have seen is that all the platforms like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, everything was created for the web, not for the mobile, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right. Okay.
we focus on the mobile commerce, and if we really look right now, majority of us shop online through our web portal, through our mobile apps, right?
Mobile
Not the
apps,
web,
yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And even my parents, they don't even know how to use, a
Mobile
PC
phone.
or a computer. The
Yeah.
only thing they do know is that, okay, I know this app called Amazon or this
Uh,
app called Mintra where I can get all the clothings, or this app called Woodmore, I can get these kind of stuff, right? So what we have seen a great opportunity in terms of everyone is going to the mobile commerce, and this trend only started in the last 5 years, specifically in India. It's only been there for the last 3 4 years, right? So mobile was there for quite some time, but internet is a really big thing to have to empower all these devices and all, right? So right now, if you really see an average household in India, everyone got like 3 4 mobile devices at their home,
yes.
right? So
Yeah.
the opportunity is like it's really bigger, and even we become competitors, there are plenty of space to compete the other age. Pie is really big, right? It's not a very small case, right now every mom and shop have e-commerce business. Yeah.
Understood. Actually, then see, is there substantial differences in technology between building up mobile commerce platforms and web-based e-commerce platforms?
Yes, it is.
Uh, well, how does
So
it differ? Yeah, will you be? I mean, not going too
yes.
deeper into technologies, at least
No, no,
the
so
plain. Yeah,
maybe I'm gonna explain that thing.
yeah, yeah.
Even if we really look into all this WooCommerce, Shopify, these people are providing, and so basically what we provide right now is a mobile app experience, right? So we basically provide mobile app for our merchants, right? And right now, not every single merchant doesn't need a mobile app. For example, once you have mobile app, people have to download your app, right? So it's another hustle for them to download it, right? But the beauty of once you downloaded a mobile app, you are more likely to purchase from that vendor than going to another vendor, right?
Yes, yes.
So, but if you wanted to purchase a pillow or a mattress, you don't really have to download it, right? So once in 10 years we buy a mattress, right?
Yep.
So in those cases we don't really need a mobile app at all.
Yeah,
But if you're buying a grocery, right, if you're buying a gym products,
yeah.
if you're if you're buying a fashion product, right, where you buy these products now and then, in those cases, mobile app makes sense. So we primarily focus the people who make at least $1 million in revenue in the last 12 months, and who sells these kind of categories like grocery, fashion, things like that, where you get multiple, orders every month, right? This
So
is our ideal customer base. To answer your questions, what the major difference between mobile experience versus these people provide, right? So all of them are doing like a responsive mobile website. For example, it looks good when you open in a mobile website, but it doesn't give you exactly what other big giants are doing in the market, right?
okay.
So, example, you don't really get an experience like Flipkart mobile web in a Shopify or a WooCommerce app,
Yes.
in a WooCommerce website, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we are there to provide the world-class best experience in terms of mobile to help you to get to acquire more customers and increase the revenue.
Right. Sally, I'll come back to. I need to talk to you about your business and revenue models. So that is
Yep.
good. I will park you for a while, and I'll come to Najib. Najib, welcome. Both of you have something in common because Sally had been actually creating applications, mobile applications, when you were studying in the 12th. And there is another gentleman called Najib. While he was actually studying for his engineering at Sahyodaya College, he has started up his company there itself, and that too in a completely different, not technology, but of course it is technology, but not into the realms of internet technologies and things like that. Najib, would you give us some understanding about how and why did you start when you started while studying at the college, engineering college itself?
Sure, sir. Actually, as a startup company,
Yeah,
we won't have that much experience of how to start a company and what an entrepreneurial journey. Like entrepreneurs are this motivation. We only extend about a motivation stories like that.
yeah.
On before that, we start our project as a college project. We start this design and development of algae and seaweed based food products. Some of the faculties as well as the mentors of this biotechnology and genetic engineering field, they told that it's not fair because there won't be that much acceptance for this algae and seaweed food product Indian, because
Mm,
this algae like pile like
mm,
that doesn't care about that the common customers. But we analyze the potentials of this algae and seaweed, and we directly have meetings with NASA food and nutrition department. And in world there is a largest algal culturing center for California for the NASA as well. So
oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
they treated this algae and seaweed for their own food product development to go to space.
Mm,
So based on this algae and seaweed, we analyze that how we can manage this to a common bakery or common food product sector as well. So on
mm,
the same time, there is an incident in Trishur nearby Attapadi. There is a lot of people, women who are weight loss issues in their pregnant ladies, that they lost their babies.
yeah.
So there is a lot of malnutrition. We analyze that the malnutrition is not a point of poverty or not availability of this food. This is a
Mm,
major point because the malnutrition is a major focus on this. It affects both urban and rural areas. In
yeah.
urban there is a lack of quality of food products, and the
Mm,
people who are living in the urban areas, they are also suffer of mineral deficiencies and malnutrition as well. So
mm,
we analyze that develop like a 4 to 3 cookies replaces a meal, like to design the product. And this ICAR in the naval command in nearby the naval command in Cochin, they support us to develop these cookies. It has a new concept, like we promote like low consumption more productivity,
yeah.
because like that we designed this product. And there is a great acceptance from the Indian defense for to develop this product for the Indian Navy Army, like to support supplement this, because in pickets as well as the submarines, they need to be utilized like rather than cooking the food, to replace the superfoods like that. So introducing these superfoods in India, the first time we are introducing the superfoods into common bakery or common food sector to consume, rather than consuming a tablets or a capsule, because in the algae and seaweeds already available in market in capsules and tablets as well. So
Yeah.
we redesigned this, rather than eating like a capsules and tablets, we just eat a cookie and replace a meal like module. Because in most of these IT parks, and we have a lot of customers, because the lot of the even college as well, we directly skip our breakfast because running late. On the same time, in the IT parks, even we done the survey in the info park in Chennai. There is a lot of the most of the about 99% of the people who are working in the IT professional, they are skipping their breakfast,
Right.
and basically they don't have time and they have night shift. They sleep on the night time. The breakfast is a major key point of our daily diet plan. So
Yeah.
based on that, we analyze that who are our targeted customer and
Yeah.
who are our targeted audience to pay our rate this cost, because it has a great cost.
Yeah.
So based on that, we designed this product from the ICAR facility in CIFT Cochin and developed this product. On based on the product, we supply these cookies as a CSIR, and we get some funds from some of the major like social welfare associations from
Mm.
Kerala to support this malnutrition issues in Attapadi, and we give supplies to these people who are suffering these malnutrition issues. And these types of incidents are connected with the United Nations, and they are inviting us in Kuala Lumpur in 2019 for like as a sustainable goal in goal number 3 as a good health and well-being, and awarded as Asia's best innovative product from a student from the campus. So it is a major initiative as a campus, a cookie from a campus. So we basically in Kerala as well, and in India, international market, in all sectors, as this the facilities provided by the college, the Kerala government, Kerala Startup Mission, and the Startup India, these organizations support every student from the campus to support their startup. And like even though GITEX is the first program we attend the global international platform in Dubai World Trade Center, and Kerala Startup Mission is fully supported. From that, we are presented in the, for example, GITEX is a technologically event, you know. Also.
Najib, you are now into close to about what 3 years now. 2019, 2018, you started in the college, right?
Actually, the project is started on 2016 as well. So we
Yeah.
started the
Okay.
company in 2019.
19. Now, Najib, I have a question. When see for children, when you talk to children like cookies actually give a lot of imagination. Cookies are
Yeah,
tasty.
yeah.
Cookies are something unique, and so are the cookies made by you also tasty like that, or it is only a superfood supplement which is tasteless or which is just used for scientifically used for purposes like that? What is
Actually,
how does it differ, Najib?
yeah, sure. Actually, the taste is majorly is our reference or comparison or our memory about how we eat our previous product. Like if we eat a cookie like a dark fantasy or a good day cookie, we refer that, we directly compare with that. That is
Yeah.
our reference point.
Yeah.
So based on that, we eat. On the same time, if a product like if we are export to UK, and in that product there is a no sugar content,
Mm.
we use extract of pure cocoa, like it's like a bitter taste, like that. On that product we have a lot of customers in there. On the
Mm.
same time, if we launch that product in Kerala or Indian market, there won't be that much sales, and there won't be that acceptance, because there is a preference and reference of the taste preferences of the customers as well. So based on the geolocation and customer preference, we design and develop each and every product for our company based on, we keep only the health status, but rather than some of the compromises with this taste as well,
Yeah,
because
I
in
understand that
chocolate,
people use essential oils, etc., to change the
yeah,
taste. Like we have elaichi taste, this taste, etc. So,
yeah.
do you do that, or you only make say that okay, this is blight spirulina cookie, and this is like this? So you have to acquire the taste for this. How does it go, Najib?
No. Actually, we redesigned for the Indian market, because the taste preference from the location to location will be different. So we designed the product is like in Be Light Indian masala flavored cookies as a spicy cookie, and
Mm-hmm.
Be Light it's a nutmeg flavored cookies. It's a nutmeg, natural nutmeg flavored
Oh,
cookies,
you call
and a
it Be
chocolate
Light,
flavored
no,
as well.
not
Chocolate
Blight. Be
inside
Light,
chocolate
right?
chips
Okay, yeah,
enable chocolate flavor. Yes.
yeah. It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
Be Light,
Be Light.
right? Be Light.
So it's based on the yeah,
Yeah.
based on the customer's preference, rather than we all provide both taste preference as well as health preferences. So both these like the same thing, to provide a customer feasibility for eating this cookie and get a perfect balanced diet.
So
Like that
Najib,
we
have you
designed and
started
every product rather
manufacturing
than.
this? Have you started manufacturing this in large numbers, or it is still on an experimentation, or lesser
No.
quantities are being?
Actually,
Yeah.
in 2000, before 2019, these products are manufactured in the CIFT pilot plant facility. And rather than in 2020, we launched our own manufacturing facility in Pathanamthitta district in Kerala.
Okay.
Yeah, like the industrial department is providing more support for the implementation of this algal culturing center as well as this technology biotechnology system to a Pinnoka Jilla like Pathanamthitta Jilla, because Pathanamthitta is a long is the area where the plantations and that much developments rather compared to Cochin or Calicut. So we developed the industrial department of Kerala, KSIDC and Kerala Startup Mission support to develop the first manufacturing facility from a campus. This product is so this popularity of this major intention of this startup is from the campus as well, because and we got about 10 million US dollars investment from an international platform. These all facilities and all achievements we get from the support from the Kerala Startup Mission and
Which
Kerala
I
government.
understand. Have you gone into substantial revenues, or how is it being done?
Yeah, we now we have a substantial revenue model, and with the business strategies is going like we get a monthly revenue like say online and offline sales. The product is going to export to 8 countries: UK, US, Japan, Germany, and GCC countries as well. So the export is going on the same time in Indian market. This is available on e-commerce platforms like belightstore.com and Amazon. And other than this, it's also available in major metro cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, and Chennai as well, in Cochin as well. So it's available
Rajiv,
in
when
some.
you started by saying that I would like to see that these cookies, which are superfoods, reach the common man through common, like the bakery system. Have you started that level of a distribution by now, or you're waiting to develop that distribution system, Rajiv?
No, as per the cost-effective mass, this product now our currently launched products is only targeted for the upper middle class and above premium customer range due to this cost issues for this technology development. Like we are some of the least we are taking some of the facilities as a technology for the development of this algae culturing as a lease from the CFTRI Mysore. So rather than this utilizing of these types of investments, and we are now looking for the other investments as well, crowdfunding. So looking to implementation of these algal technologies as well as the production facility, and we have cosmetic sector, we have feed, fertilizer, different sectors as well as a biotech company as well. So based on
At
this
this point of time, have you started algae culturing, or you are actually dependent upon CFTRA only for the algae products to come? How is it being done?
Actually, in the technology development, we depend on CFTRA, and now the consignment is coming from Pondicherry and Parinutricals or the Mumbai, Pune areas where the consignment is coming. So rather than this, we develop our own culturing. We are planning to develop our own culturing center to reduce the cost and to give our mission is to get this product to the common customer range at a middle class and lower middle class people as well, in a healthy cookies, healthy bakery products other than this maida, white sugar, avoiding these unhealthy ingredients as well, utilizing the superfoods like algae and seaweeds.
Thank you very much, Najib. I will come back to you. I need to talk to you about your research and development as well as your business model. Let me go to Sally. Sally, see, how do you? What is the business model that you operate upon this? Because is it a SaaS product or is it a cloud-based offering that you do? And what is the revenue? How does the revenue model work, Sally?
Yeah, so we primarily as a SaaS product that we provide. So a pricing model works. We have a fixed fee plus a monthly, plus a transaction fee that the sales happen through the mobile apps. So it's a primarily SaaS plus a transaction fee. It's something
there is a
similar what
transaction
exactly
fee. So
Shopify does.
any transaction that happens through your application, you get a percent, whatever it is. Something comes out of that, right? Okay,
yes.
fine.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how is it? Is it the one time or the transaction that is now going strong, or is it equally this revenue has it come equal?
Yeah. So right now, revenue majority come from the monthly subscription rather than the transaction fee.
Yeah.
So we only moved to this model around 1 year back.
Okay.
So that's one reason. And one of the biggest thing about e-commerce business is that it's super easy to start an e-commerce business, and it is much more easier to stop a business, right? It's not like you just you buy a domain, buy a cloud service, you start it. If you're not getting a sales, you just stop it, right? So one of the problem with the e-commerce business is like people start early and stop early in the e-commerce business. right? So
that is right. That
people
is
who
precisely I
sticks.
was going to ask you, because everybody is into the e-commerce bandwagon, and then people
Yeah.
come and people go. So
Yes.
how does applications and technology like you make people sustain their businesses, Sally?
Yes. So even there are some people, majority of the people come and they go, but the guys who stay, they become super big, right? So that's the beauty of this business, right? So you get your 80% revenue from 20% of your customers,
I
right?
understand. Okay.
So majority of them go away, but the people who stick out there, they're gonna become millionaires on this
But
business,
if the
right?
majority go away, your revenue also is going to be affected, Sally, isn't it? The more people have your platform with them,
Yes.
the more money you can earn. So if people go away, your chances of making money also is depleted, is it not?
No, the reason that new people comes, right? So
Okay.
one set of people goes, the other set of people comes. So this problem exists for all the e-commerce companies, especially in Shopify, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
so everyone has this problem. It's like a very common problem you can really think about, right? So it's like
Okay.
you only need like 5,000 rupees to start an e-commerce business, right? For example, if you wanted to start a retail store, right, you at least need 3 to 5 lakhs rupees, right? So in if you really start in some shops, I mean that's not enough, but even in a very small village, you need like that, right?
That is right.
Yeah, and it's not easy to stop the business. You're gonna have to, fight with the landlord, things like that. You're gonna have to fight with the vendors, right? So e-commerce, it's not there. It's super easy for everything to start and stop.
Yeah, but you see, how you said you have clients across about 35 countries is what generally I have read, and even when your story etc also reported that. Now 35 countries is fine, but how many number of clients, or how do you use it usage based, or how is it that a e-commerce company take your solution or your
Yeah.
app?
Yeah. So we have around 4,000 merchants around the globe.
Yeah.
And the 35 country was like in like 3 years back. The US
Mm.
dollar was 3 years back. Right now we have around more than 60, 70 countries we have merchants we work with. And everyone is finding us through online channels, right? For example, if someone searched for they wanted to create a Shopify to mobile app, or they wanted to convert their WooCommerce into mobile app, right? So people find us through these channels, and majority of them,
So
the
if
beauty is
you
that we don't really do paid marketing. Everything is
Yeah, that is
inbound.
what I was coming into. But before that, let me ask you, because various nations have various languages. So is there a need for localizing your application to the need of that country, or everything is English and everything is technology?
Yes. So the mobile app that we provide, which does support multi-language, and the RTL support in Arabic, you write from right to left, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and there's a different language with the support that we do have customers who use those languages, and our language summarize our language. Our app is multi-language and multi-currency, everything that what we have, right? So these, I mean, since you got a really great experience with this, right? You asked this question, right? But when we starting this business, we have no idea. Do we really need this kind of stuff, right? So people come and ask, "Do you support this?" We said, "No, we don't really do that, right?" First of all, we said we don't do that. Then we keep getting a lot of questions from different customers. Do you do this? At the point we realize that until and unless we have multi-language feature, people not going to choose us, right? So we started building those features, right? So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, how do you reach out to your target audience? Is it digital marketing, or do you have now started establishing your franchises and connectivities around? How do you actually reach out to your target audience?
Yeah. So right now we only do inbound,
Yeah.
digital marketing only, that what we do, right? Even in
Inbound means
specific,
it's only search SEO, or you're also going to
yes.
paid programs.
So we don't have any paid programs. The only thing that we focus mostly on paid, I mean
Yeah.
free, not paid, and that's specifically into Google. And we also do a lot of YouTube videos. And for example, if someone wanted to create a mobile app for their grocery store, you can see app maker video. If you wanted to create a furniture store, you can see app maker video. if you wanted to create a fashion store, you can see our video, right? So we create videos in every single category in the world. So we are just creating those categories, but we create a lot of videos like that, and we teach them how to build a mobile app by themselves, right? So many people think that's not possible because I'm not a developer or I don't have any experience in this, right? So we create long length videos to show them step by steps to how to create these kind of mobile apps.
Sally, all these digital marketing activities is undertaken from within the confines of your organization, or it is outsourced.
Everything is inside AppMaker. So we have a really great team of sales and marketing people and engineers with inside AppMaker.
When we started doing our informal conversation, you said that you are at now about 25 people. Most of them are working from home. But so, what is the possibility of your team size increasing? Thereupon, your revenue and your profitability increasing. So, what is the plan, or what is it? What are you planning for that?
So one of the things that I personally want to do is that I don't really want to build a 3,000 or 5,000 people organization, right? Because I myself am an engineer, right? So I know to solve this problem, we need a lot of people over there, right? But my ideal goal is like build a very small team,
Yeah.
as small as I can, right? I also wanted to give job to other people, maybe providing a support or another services along with this, right? The core engineering team or the core product team, I always wanted to be really small, right? So that's a vision I see in this org, but I really want to spend a lot of effort and energy to build a really great support team, right? It could be bigger, it could be 1,000 people down the line, but engineers and all the core product, I wanted to really make it really small.
Sally, have you received any funds, or you're not looking at any funds at all?
So we raised a small funding in l- end of 2017. Right? That's
Okay.
only what we raised so far, right? And we are running profitable now. So it's
See, I
not.
was actually going to ask you because in one of the communication it is mentioned, please do not mistake the app maker with the Google app maker. I'm very sure Google must have told you to change the name. Well, did they ask you?
No. So the thing is that even that thing was written in the Your Story article, right?
Yeah.
So Google shut down their product called AppMaker in
Okay.
2019, I believe. Right? So, but it's a completely different product than that we provide. So we known as appmaker.xyz rather than appmaker, right? So that's our name in the internet, right? It's appmaker.xyz. So it's a completely different product than what Google have.
No, see, normally when I see the ecosystem, Sally, when companies are successful and then the possibility of scalability exists, there are a lot of people, either from angel side or venture side, the people approach you. They try to look at you and they try to fund you. And that's how companies become larger, bigger, and then they go into multiple domains and they also go into multiple countries, etc., etc.
Yes.
But you're saying that I would like to say small. So what? Why is it that you don't want to become? Why don't you want to become a Shopify company yourself?
So I'm not saying I don't really want to become a Shopify company. One example would be, so every one of us use WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
Right. At the time Facebook acquired WhatsApp, they only have like 25 engineers at WhatsApp
Okay.
with 10 billion people, right?
Yeah. So
Maybe.
I understand. You're looking at a WhatsApp model and then scalability accordingly. So
It's maybe it's because I'm an engineer by blood, right? And my co-founder, so we both are engineers, right?
no, but I
So
understand, Salim. No, it is absolutely fine. I have no, and I will support you on that. But I have seen that many organizations, when it comes to scaling, they also have people in finance and commerce, etc., who look at larger picture because engineers actually build, to sell
yes,
it,
yes,
to sell it, to go around with this, to fund it, etc. Lots of people have to come together to see that the enterprise really become larger. See, the challenge here, Sally, is that see there are at least 10,000 people thinking like you in different parts of the world to prepare an application like what you have made, isn't it? So
yes,
somebody
yes.
when they draw the attention of the funders or people in the ecosystem, suddenly we will realize that we are nowhere, and a fly by night sort of a company come up and it has gone up or grown up large. So don't you want to such a way? Don't you miss the bus? because you're already about 2016. So if you look at it, about 5 years has passed. So scaling the company, becoming larger, finding competition, or trying to let better competition, etc. Is it not something that you should be looking at now?
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree what you have raised here. It's a definitely, thinkable in those direction, right? But one of the thing I really see in the example of WhatsApp is that there were other companies similar to WhatsApp doing what they were doing in terms of in business and other things, right? One of the biggest thing about WhatsApp is that technology was super great, right? So there are people who got billions of dollars in funding, who have hundreds of thousands of people working on the similar problem, but somehow WhatsApp got success. It took some time to become the success, but the beauty is that something that can be possible, right? So everyone is going in one direction. I am thinking in a completely different direction, and the thing about ourselves is that we know, I mean, bigger
So
opportunities there,
if I
right?
understand you correctly, for the understanding of the people who are listening to you, I think you are really making a super cool technology so that nobody. I mean, like that is what is going to. You are an engineer. You take pride in creating that super cool technology, something similar to WhatsApp. So you will leave all these people far behind. Is that what you think?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, right? That's where I would say we are different from all other 10 or 20 competitors in the market, right?
Right.
And we
Thank you
have
very much.
seen maybe
I
I'm gonna
actually
add another point to that as well,
tell
right?
me, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a competitor who built a product in India, right?
Okay.
And he started in 2013 or 2014, things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And his company was shut down on 2017, right? And I talked to the founder of that company, and he mentioned that I asked him, I mean, this is a really good market. Why did you stop, run out from this? He was mentioning that, the technology was a bit complicated to build a scalable product on this. And they literally wrote a blog article about explaining why this is complicated and all, right? And I was reading that article, I was laughing. This is like, that's not right, because I am an engineer myself, and I know this is not that much complicated, right? So he started the business in 2013, exactly same as what we do, what we did, and what he's still doing. And he shut down his company in 4 years,
So he
right?
was
So
he was he was
we are
not
still
able to
there.
cope up with. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no.
we are
I
still
understand.
here,
I
and
understand.
we
Yeah.
got new competitor over here.
No, that's okay. I mean, I understand your drift. I understand your thinking.
Yep.
No, I don't find anything wrong in that. But always there's a market available there, so therefore we look at the
Yes.
market and
Yes.
opportunity. We always hear that opportunity do not knock twice. It knocks once, and
Yes.
then when
It's
you
only
knock,
once.
it goes
Yep.
away. Thank you. I will come back to you again. Let me
Sure.
talk to Najib. Najib, will you
Sure.
please switch on your video, Najib? Yeah, Najib. Yeah, thank you, Najib. Yeah. See, you have got $10 million funds, and with that, I'm sure you would have actually equipped your manufacturing and research and development facilities into larger one. So, could you kindly tell us what are all the research and development activities that you are currently undertaking with relation to newer products that you're planning to come out with?
Yeah, actually, utilization of this international funding, we won't utilize in India. So we
Okay.
utilize this funding is directly for the GCC only. So GCC, we implementation of algae and seaweed technology systems and photobioreactors for the climatic. We both working on the energy and food crisis, both categories.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in connection with the climatic control and connection with the air pollution systems, we design and development of these algae and seaweed based air purification systems in the photobioreactors on implementation to sustainable city in Dubai.
Yeah.
And based on that we have the based on this is a big budget project, and this utilization of the investment is completely in the TCN international, under this they utilize
So
only in
that means
Dubai
for
and GCC.
manufacturing in the GCC nation or distribution in the GCC nation,
So
Najib?
the food products and cosmetic products which we are already completed the research and developed the products is completely take over them, and the manufacturing and research facilities in collaboration UAE University in Alain, and setting a new manufacturing facility distribution channel under completely in GCC is under
Okay.
this CCN, and this utilization of this process is the fund is utilized.
But
And
sometimes when you were discussing, yeah, I certainly heard you speaking, because at one end you have a 10 million fund. Of course, now I understand that it is for GCC nation, but at the same time, you were telling about crowdfunding. So why is it that you were looking at crowdfunding on the one side and on the other side, $10 million fund for the GCC nation?
Actually, as per our collaboration with the TCN, there won't be direct connection with the Indian companies Zara Biotech.
Yeah.
So it is a direct connection with myself as an Najib bin Hanif, and I am directly connected with the TCN, and we start a new company there in Zara Biotech International LLC in Dubai.
Okay.
So there is a separate entity, and that entity, under that entity, this fund is utilized, and there won't be direct connection with the Indian company. So as based on Indian company, we are supposed to design and develop the products and manufacture above 6 months expiry products manufactured from India and export to other than GCC countries all over the world. So we are working on Indian and other countries other than GCC. So based on
Najib, your products being physical in nature, because cookies, etc., being physical in nature, there is an element of export and there is an element of material movement, and it is not typically IT that I can send my code exactly by wire or wireless across and I can bill. This is not like that. Your product has to be packed well, it has to be preserved, it has to be, you have to see that there are no bacteria coming in, you have to go by global health standards in fact. So all this being done, so do you think that you need to have a fairly good logistic infrastructure for that? And have you created that logic infrastructure, or are you trying to outsource this and see how it can work out?
For the Indian market, we have now a manufacturing facility of a per day 500 kg capacity with international standards of BRC and HACCP certifications as well for the export to European countries as well as the UK, US as well. So based on this, we have now, but the facility is only a 500 kg per day capacity. So we are looking for the crowdfunding to expand development of complete food.
My question, therefore, I'm a little surprised, but why crowdfunding, Najib? You're now well established, research oriented, product oriented company. Anybody can come and fund you. I think why are you looking at crowdfunding is something that I am a little confused about. Yeah.
Actually, the main focus is to develop this Zara Biotech because as the other like the crowdfunding, we develop and design like it's a big project. Big project means like we already connect with the VCs in Bangalore. So we submitted about a 50 years planned project, and every 3 years a new product is launched with the targeted audience. So in food, fertilizer, cosmetics, in different sectors, all sectors in FMCG sector. So based on this, there won't that much interested people they won't be coming for the complete funding because we don't get that enough fund for the complete process. So based on this, and also the algal culturing, and because the base of the Zara Biotech is the research sector, the R&D of this sector. So the feed, fertilizer, cosmetics, based on the current status, and as well as we are forecasting to 3 years to 4 years for the launch a product prior that.
I understand. What is the manpower capacity of your company right now, Najib?
In the research and development sector, we have about 14 people who are the qualified biotechnology and genetic engineers who are working in 4 different research stations in CFTRI Mysore, CIFT Cochin, IIST Bangalore, and Bionest Cochin in different scenarios as well.
They are on your payroll, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. And the other side, commercial,
other side, in the commercial financials, we have the administrative department, and there is about 14 people who are working in the billing and all sections in the office, which is located in the Pathanamthitta as well. And in production sector, there's totally in the daily wages who are like women who are completely trained for the development of this automized because the machinery is completely automized, and the packing and box packing.
That is something that I was wanting to ask you. When you come out with a new product or a new thing, for that you need a completely new set of manufacturing machineries also. So did you design that, or such manufacturing machineries was available in the market, Najib?
Actually, while design and development of the product, we designed the plant process diagram. Process is how it's coming to the different sectors and which are the different types of machines required for this, rather than the traditional items who are working in this confectionery bakery products. So based on that, the temperature variation, because they like a cookie, like an ordinary cookie who is baking in the oven, we lost the minerals and other nutrition fact which has consolidated in the algae. So based on this, we design a specialized process, and we got that patent as well for this processing. So based on this processing, we designed this machinery, and based on the vendors, they designed separately for us to
Do you
develop.
have Indian vendors for that, or you're looking at, or you need
No,
to?
Italian vendors, Italian.
Okay, so these are
So
custom made for your, based on your design from Italy. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yes. So based on our requirement as our process diagram, they designed this machinery for like they have a, like for a standard product, they have a temperature variation of 35 degrees Celsius to 200 degrees Celsius, but our machinery is to be different from that. So based on that criteria, we designed and developed the products with cost effectively. But the expansion plan for our plant is to be, some of the issues or challenges is to expand to a large scale, about 1000 kg per day capacity to production. We need to redesign this process diagram for a scale up scale. So it's more costly as compared to an ordinary expansion plan of a bakery or other
I
food
understand.
industry.
I understand. Not
So
only
like
that,
that,
actually, you should be looking at metric tons of manufacturing in the course of time. So if that is the
yeah,
case, you should not be looking at 100 kgs or 500 kgs or 1000 kgs. You should be looking at a very high level of tonnages, isn't it?
yeah,
No,
right,
no.
right.
I have another
So
question
based
to
on
ask
that,
you. Since yours is a manufacturing setup in based on Pathanamthitta, which is considered to be a backward zone, are you happy with the government assistance that you're getting, or you are, because there is always a school of thought within the Kerala, particularly these matured and developed entrepreneurs are saying that Kerala is not a good place for doing business, and whereas we have more than about 2000 startup which is registered in Kerala, a lot, but predominantly most of them are computer and technology oriented. Your case being different, are you happy with the current industrial ecosystem within the state of Kerala, Najib?
actually the behavior from the government department as well as this Kerala Startup Mission, the government officials who are connecting with the startups, in
Yeah.
my experience, from this support, only support from the startup and the IEDC from the college cells, we develop our campus products to this sector, this
Yeah.
stage. In
Yeah.
every stage, they support to develop. Even though in the 2000, in November 16th, I was going to Singapore for attending new Bloomberg conference in along with the Sundar Pichai and Bill Gates, or they are coming for the speakers for the sustainability in the food sector as well. So
Yeah.
the complete accommodation, food, travel, complete facility is sponsored by Kerala government.
Mm.
So they support to encourage the startups to scale up and to go anywhere and build yourself and get back to us. Because in every sector, for example, in 3 weeks back, Ireland government is invited us, come here and we will invest you. We need a production facility, because in even every sector, every country, they need their own economic development by us.
No,
Because
I'm fully okay with that, Najib. What I was asking is, many people are saying, many matured businessmen in the state of Kerala is saying that, well, it is not ease of doing business in Kerala is very tough.
yeah,
And
sure,
yeah,
because
whereas my question is, are you happy
because
because you're a manufacturing company? Currently,
yeah,
you're making 500
yeah,
kgs.
I'm
Yeah,
coming to that. I'm
yeah,
coming to that.
yeah.
That is a good and best side of this Kerala Startup Mission, IEDC, KSIDC. That's a good person. On the
Okay.
same time, when I was going for the license for the manufacturing facility for my local government authority as a panchayat,
Yeah.
it takes about 4 weeks to get
Mm.
a sanction. The overseer come to inspect that machinery, that facility as well. So
Mm.
it laxed about 1 week. After the influence from the ministry, they act upon that.
Mm.
So based on the development of this infrastructure facility or industrial production facility and development of Kerala, it's all depends upon, starts on the base.
Mm.
I suggest that local bodies are the major constraints for the startup founders to start a business in the manufacturing and production facilities, rather than this we don't we because I don't prefer to completely they are wrong. The government is not supporting. Government is supporting in a better way, but somewhat some of the local bodies from the base itself, we are struggling.
Unfortunately, Najib, local body also happens to be government.
Yeah,
That is a challenge. Local
sure.
body, that is a local administration, panchayat, municipality, etc. Also is part of the government. That is
Yeah.
where people are entrepreneurs are feeling the pinch, isn't it?
No, sir.
Even you said
Actually,
that for a
actually,
supervisor to come and verify your plan, it took about this much of time. Anywhere else,
actually,
yeah.
yeah, sure. Actually, rather than the government, how the society is supporting the startups? Can you look
Mm.
on that one? Because even the society, their attitude towards a founder, you are doing this. How risky is this? go to civil service or like a coaching and get the PSC and all. Look, rather than we are like attitude from the government.
That is because of our culture of risk aversion in Kerala.
Yeah,
That is why businesses
yeah.
did not happen. I
We need
understand that.
yeah, we need to go to our own families or our own society and how we get the replies from their side. Other than that, we are going to the local body and they always tell like that.
I understand. There is a question from Mr. Suresh Kumar TK to you, Najib. He says, Mr. Najib, can you give us a brief narration of the process of algae production and the machinery used? Are you aware of any such units existing in West Kochi? I don't know.
Actually, this algal culturing and the seaweed culturing is not feasible for the Kerala climate as well. It's not feasible, and due to this climatic condition, environmental factors, it's a lot of difference as well. So each species to species is depends upon the climatic and environmental conditions. So it's more suitable for the Tamil Nadu rather than this hot environment
That is
culture about 35 to 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rain is a major issue for the contamination because we are utilizing for the food product, right?
Yeah.
So some of the issues are there. So rather than this, some of the larvae and rotifers and some of the contaminations happen when the rains has come. So in implementation of this algae plant in Kerala, we need more investment like greenhouse, heat treatment. Lot of investment is needed. So there's no feasibility in for this algal culturing. So the species to species is different. So the completely a technical aspect.
Najib, are you the only you have your own co-founders or you're the founder? Now, do you have a fairly good senior management system within, or are you building it up?
Actually, we started as a project, as in college in a project about four-member team of Bristow, and Agash is a 3 or 4 more colleagues. Yeah. But after the passing out from the campus itself, they're supporting in technically as a biotech engineers in research and development in all sectors as well. But after that, we won't reach in the like a startup. We won't reach a break even in this initial stage after passing out of my college as well. So they due to some financial issues, their own families as well. 2 of them are going to higher studies in UK, and one of the person who are going to another job in C4 as well. So on June in 2020 on time, only myself is there for the company. Is the only one who is handling both production, marketing, even in his own.
I understand. So that is going to be major taxing on you. So if you have to really do research and development and go across, you need people to look after transactions and operations. Do you have such people available with you?
So now we have a sophisticated team for all sectors as well. So after getting the investment and all financial problems are solved, we have a great team and we are growth step by step for this initial market. Even though even after the after next time onwards, next year onwards, the channel Media One channel is doing the completely. We have partnering with them and completely distribution, sales, advertisement, all things are done by this collaboration with Media One channel as well. It's completed. The discussions are ongoing on.
That is great to know. That is great to know. Yeah.
It's completely like we design and develop a product from the campus, and we go to industrial scale, commercialized, and a major team is taking over for the distribution sales. Because some of the major points were the distribution, sales, marketing. I don't have that much skill because I am a technically biotechnology engineer. I don't have that much skill because and I am not apt for a CEO for a company because I am a researcher. So based on that,
so that means does your company have a CEO or you continue to be the CEO?
Yeah, mostly after getting, if I prefer a perfect man who is managing completely.
You never get perfect managing. There is nothing called perfect in this world actually. Okay, let me take this question to Mr. Sally. This question is from ABK, that is Balkrishnan. He's a executive director with Geojit as well as KMA's vice president. He asks, Mr. Sally, do you think the emergence of new technologies like low code, no code, React Native, etc., will create technological challenges to your business? Do you have the beta plans to face democratization of app development? Have you understood the question, Sally?
Yes.
Okay, please answer.
Yeah. So primarily we are a no-code platform, right? So right now we only focusing on no-code platform for building e-commerce mobile apps, right? Okay. So, and I'm a strong believer that in the next 5 to 10 years, building a software, not a complicated software, like a basic, very basic or a bit sort of software becomes a commodity, right? The only thing that you need is maybe a little bit of money and a bit of experience. And majority of the things building a software or a mobile app become a commodity, right? In the next 5 to 10 years, and we will be one of the commodity provider for that business, right? So that's what we see on that. And right now we're only focusing on e-commerce mobile apps because it's much more easier. I mean, that's where actual business is happening right now, right? So we can end up adding new categories, but right now we're focusing on e-commerce, not core.
Right. Shali, this is 2021. Practically, we are into 2022. By 2025, where will you be? What do you think your company will be in terms of number of people, turnover, scalability, etc.? What's your plan, or what's in your mind?
Yeah. So in terms of people, I think we might have an argument over there.
Yeah, no problem.
I totally agree.
No argument. We are discussing. Why should we argue?
I'm just giving a very. It could be there, but in terms of so we wanted to be I'm not sure in the next 10-15 years we wanted to be listed on NASDAQ. Right? Maybe it takes time, but that's one of the goal that we have seen in the future as an app maker. One of the company from Kerala.
Example, Saleh, is Freshworks. If you really look at Freshworks, it's a real role model to you as far as taking the company to NASDAQ is concerned. And there is another company in Kochi which is called Survey Sparrow. They are also very, very, very nicely poised towards going into those directions. So I'm sure you are having you have these role models in front of you, and you know how they are going about it. That is great to know. Yeah. So
and Shihab from Survey Sparrow, just wanted to mention his name. He also helping us a lot in terms of direction thinking and the way that we are heading into. He started from Freshworks and he got a really good experience on the rates. Yeah, so he's also helping us a lot. Thank you, Shihab, if you're somewhere watching.
That's okay. Now I go back to Najib and ask the same question. Najib, where do you think your company will be by 2025? Najib, hello, Najib.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, where do you think your company will be by 2025? Another 3 years.
Another 3 years, we obviously thinking that to expand our international business to about 35 countries for export. We are already talking that. And as well, the same, we are planning to launch in 2025 as an other value-added products to Indian general market as an like middle-class family, as a like costing 30 rupees to 40 rupees to healthy superfood cookies. We are planning on the same, and we are looking for this funding as well. And some of the people who are interested for crowdfunding as well coming. And establishing an biotechnology innovation park system to developing this algae and getting more awareness for this algae seaweeds to our Indian diets is our best focus, and we will be achieving and listing. Obviously, listing on to 2025. We are hoping to listing on IPO as well.
Great. Okay. Gentlemen, we have been talking for the last 60 minutes. In fact, I was a little worried whether Salih will go, because you're having this food poisoning problem, so you may get worried. But everything went out very well. I am so happy that there are people who are thinking differently. I am also so happy that there are people who are looking at the focus, the output and the outcome that you have in mind at various milestones that you have. From your KMA perspective, any help that you need that we can provide you, because we are a managers body. We have entrepreneurs, managers, funders, bankers, all of the part of us. If any help that you require, please feel free to come forward. We'll definitely be able to work out with you. And here is wishing both of you very well, and looking forward to seeing you from time to time and interacting with you again. I'm handing you over to President Madhav, who will conclude the session. Madhav, yourself.
Thank you, SR, and what a session it was. I'm really bewildered, I would say. I don't know whether the word is right or not, because the clarity of thoughts, the way in which they're convinced about what they're doing, and the vision for the future, and treading distinctly different paths. When you talk about startup, we always think about some kind of a mobile app or a kind of a software solution, or maybe something to do with robotics. This is something completely different, and I'm sure those of us who have listened to them young blood, with that kind of conviction and confidence, which was never there. I was also a startup maybe in 1990. That word was not heard of at that
It was
time. But
not
then,
there. The word was not there actually.
yeah, it was not there. But now, the kind of the fire in your eyes and the belly, we can see that. And SR, you did a wonderful job of making them comfortable. I mean, even with the fire in the belly with Sully, he was comfortable talking, and coming out with all the explanations about his plans and how he made it like this. And Najib also. I mean, I no words to really congratulate you for being there, following your passion, and even though encouragement was not there from the quarters which you expected them to come from, but then you took it as a natural course of action. That's the way to do it, rather than being negative about it. And of course, still looking up to see where you're going to reach maybe tomorrow. And when you talk about 2025, there was no blinking of the eye. You had an answer for that also. So really good. I'm sure we will see more of you, and we will see you in the news and maybe in the newsmaker section of KMA News very soon. And of course, as SR said, you can always look up to KMA and our leaders here for any kind of advice or any mentoring which you need, or any kind of hand-holding which you may need at any point of time. So this is the whole purpose of the StartCon session. And of course, for those delegates who are listening to you, I'm sure they must have got excited themselves, as that small idea which is there, they know that also can become big at some point of time with the confidence and the conviction which, if you have it. Very good. Congratulations. And I mean, as he wished you, let me also wish you good luck and Godspeed, and you may go places in the future in the coming days. God be with you. Before I hand it over to our Joint Secretary, Mr. Algiers Khalid, let me just make some announcements, housekeeping announcements for the delegates present here. We have a busy November, in store for you. Just 3 days from now, that's 13th November, we have the next session under the MSME workshop series, the session number 3, the workshop session 3, by Mr. Shaji KV, Deputy Managing Director of NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, talking about the policies and offerings from the banking sector for the revival and rejuvenation of the MSME segment. That is on 13th November, the MSME workshop series number 3 by Mr. Shaji KV, Deputy Managing Director of NABARD, that is 13th November. Thereafter, on 18th November, we have a very interesting panel discussion conceived by our Program Committee Chair and Past President, Mr. Sir Nair. The big news, the big wave which is going on, the great resignation boom. I mean, it's an oxymoron, but still, you can think about what it is like. The great resignation boom which is going on now. I won't say post-COVID, in the current scenario, whether it's new normal or whether it's going to be the new normal. Things are changing so drastically, and resignation spree is there in almost all the sectors. Of course, IT leading the roost, but still, it is to be evaluated. It has to be analyzed from all quarters. So we'll have a very rich panel coming up and discussing this particular topic about this resignation spree which is going on right now. That is on 18th November in the evening at same time 6 p.m. And the 23rd November we have the next session of the Women Managers Forum. The details will be mailed to you very soon. That is on 23rd November and 25th November for the members who are present here. I'm sure you must have already got communication by email as well as by WhatsApp. That is, an extraordinary general body meeting is being convened on 25th of November on the Zoom platform. So please mark that date. That's very important. There are certain important decisions, important changes, amendments, as well as new points in the bylaws being added. So please go through the mail. The detailed notification has already been sent yesterday itself, and today also it was sent by WhatsApp also. So please go through that and be there on 25th November at 6 p.m. for the EGM of KMA. And on 30th November, we have this month's Leader Talk session happening. Leader Talk session by Professor Dr. Rao Tatawati, Director of GVP Group of Institutions, and he's going to talk to us on a topic, managing the carbon emission obligations of India. Managing the carbon emission obligations of India. So that is by Professor Dr. Rao Tatrawadi, Director of GVP Group. That's on 30th November. So this is how we keep ourselves busy and keep you busy also, and keep you positive, relevant, and stay updated on what's happening. These are all very topical topics which you're talking about. Nothing like getting a speaker or a panel and coming out of an event. These are all relevant, meaningful, contemporary issues which we are dwelling on. So please be there, mark the dates, look up to see the WhatsApp and email communication coming from KMA Secretariat, and be there on these days. But now it's time for our Joint Secretary, Mr. Algiers Khalid, to propose the formal.
Father, 1 minute, I'll just 1 minute. There is a question which has come, which says, can anyone tell how can I get in touch with angel investor? I missed that question. You could get in touch with our executive director, Jojo Jacob. Please get connected with him. I will get in touch with you, or Mr. Balakrishna, or somebody will get in touch with you very soon. Mr.
No, he was already in touch with me on a private chat, the same person. That's why I didn't. I've told him to get in touch, and so that we can guide him.
Right. Great. Okay. I'll just please go ahead.
Yeah. President Madhav Chandran, our invited guest speaker of speakers of the day, Saleh and Najib, Program Coordinator, Past President S.R. Nair, Galaxy of Past Presidents of KMA, Managing Committee and KMA members. Today, we witnessed a very fruitful and interesting conversation with founders of 2 startups from our state. It was yet another excellent session in KMA StartCon series of discussions to encourage startups and for them to share their valuable experience. As President mentioned in his introductory remark, today's session being the 11th edition in the StartCon series that was started this year under the able leadership of past President S.R. Nair. Thank you, Mr. Saleh, co-founders and CEO of AppMaker, for sparing your valuable time to be here today at KMA and for participating and sharing your journey. Starting accidentally as a freelance app developer while studying in 12th standard to now giving a platform for everyone to build an app in few seconds. Happy to know that you are already working with companies in 60 to 70 countries and have a vision in future to be a competitor for the best and the largest in the world e-commerce software providers for mobile commerce. It was equally enthralling to listen to the conversation with Najib bin Hanif, founder and CEO of Zara Biotech, who incubated the idea of flavored, tasty, and healthy superfoods, cookies from seaweeds, while he was still pursuing his final year engineering. First time a biotech startup from campus in Kerala and India with a $10 million funding and now exporting to 8 countries in the world. Cookies from algae, our local pile, seaweed, is indeed a completely new field from the usual computer and information technology that we are used to in StartCon. Thank you, Najib, for enlightening that seaweed could be flavored according to taste requirements with the ingredients for a healthy, nutritious diet for all ages. Eat cookies to replace a meal rang a bell for me, and I'm sure to all those like me who carry extra fat for free. Thank you very much, Mr. Saleh and Najib bin Hanif, for sharing your experience, and indeed proud of you both. Glad to know all about the high-tech solutions from mobile apps to cookies. Yes, both the startup entrepreneurs took us through mind-blowing innovation journey and confidence, and I'm sure everyone enjoyed the session. It was very interesting to hear from both about the products and service in multiple domains, and also all about managing them as startup. We highly appreciate and wish you both to scale greater heights in future. The moderator of the session, our own past president and program committee chair, S.R. Nair, needs to be thanked on many counts today. First and foremost, for thinking about such interesting and new fields like PILE as topic, and also for inviting young talents to encourage them in their pursuits. I'm sure both startups are set to go places globally, making all of us proud of our state and its young talents. Secondly, SR, you so beautifully introduced the gentlemen, engaged with them, and moderated the session to bring out the best from both the speakers, not only on their startup journey, but also on their domain expertise, and for summing up too. Whether it is a StartCon or leader talk session, as always, SR, you are doing a fantastic job. It really energized everyone present here. Thank you, past President S.R. Nair.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the past presidents, managing committee, and KMA members for attending in large numbers today. We are still 50 plus members present throughout the session. I would also place on record thanks to KMA Secretary team led by our Executive Director, Lieutenant Jojo Jacob, and his team members, Prijit and Padma Kumar. Thank you all. Also, thanks to all the program sponsors, Medivision, Hale, Sierra, and Warma Homes, they all play a very important role in the success of all programs of KMA. Before I conclude, I would like to request President R. Madhavchandran to virtually hand over the specially curated memento to our invited speaker of the day, the young and budding entrepreneurs from Kerala.
This will reach you and adorn your showcases very soon. Okay, Sally and Najib, you can keep it as a token of our appreciation and acknowledgement of what you've done so far and motivate you further.
The physical version will be couriered to both of you and it will reach you shortly. Thank you one and all. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Algiers. And with that, we come to the end of this 11th edition of StartCon series. And till